Bon, allez, on repart pour le... on repart pour le lore, hein. En priorité. On est parti, on y va. Go go sur avclucky, quoi. Allez. Je vous dis bon film. Non, je rigole. Bon visionnage.
Yes, Nurse Crane? How can I help you?
I'm so sorry. I know Dr. Swansea wanted you to rest, but we have somewhat of a crisis.
A crisis, you say?
Our supply of antiseptics is nearly depleted. I was hoping there was another box up here, but...
Sorry. There's nothing here.
Some of the patients won't last the night without them. Honestly, sir, I'm beside myself.
I may have a solution. In France, during the war, drugs shortage was a daily problem, and we had to use our wits to overcome the shortages.
However do you mean?
If combined correctly, certain household chemical products can be used in a pinch instead. Now, where's the hospital storeroom?
The storeroom? Fat chance. This is the Pembroke, and space is luxury we don't have. Everything used to be stored in the old morgue.
Perhaps I should look there first. Where is this morgue?
It's the large building behind the hospital. You'll need to go in the back door because it's been sealed off for sanitary reasons. Take this key. It opens a small back entrance at the end of a narrow street.
The abandoned morgue behind the hospital. A small door at the end of a narrow street. On my way then. Thank you, nurse.
Yes, Doctor?
Why then do you always work the nights? Don't you ever sleep?
At the Pembroke, we're always hands on deck.
Lack of sleep and the medical profession always ends in disaster. I've witnessed many a colleague succumb to stimulants to fight exhaustion. Drugs were as deadly as bullets in the trenches.
London's trenches start here at Pembroke Hospital. We are on the front line, make no mistake.
Your dedication to the Pembroke does you credit, Nurse Crane, but when do you sleep?
We staff get our sleep when we can, Doctor. Nursing is a vocation, not the labor of a journeyman.
Exactly how bad is the supply situation here at Pembroke?
It really depends. Dr. Swansea deftly works his society contacts for monies, but with the quarantine, well, we're in God's hands.
Please, could you point me in the direction of the morgue again?
It's the large boarded-up building behind the hospital. You can't miss it. The key I gave you will open the small back door to it.
That's all for now, Nurse Crane. Thank you. It's locked, all right. Good evening, nurse.
Good evening, Doctor. I don't think we've been introduced yet. My name is Pippa Hawkins.
And I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. Dr. Swansea has recently offered me a position in this hospital.
Well, it's a euphemism that your help will be appreciated, Doctor.
How would you describe the situation at the Pembroke Hospital?
It's serious. The flu is wreaking havoc amongst the staff and patients. We are running out of everything.
You must get a hold of yourself, nurse.
Sorry, I'm exhausted. No one has any idea when this epidemic will be over.
Nurse Hawkins, the Spanish flu won't last forever. Even the Black Plague didn't kill everyone.
I wish I could believe you. But what if this epidemic was worse? What if in the end, nobody was spared?
How long have you been a nurse?
Well, long enough to see that the epidemic is winning. And no matter how qualified you are, don't tell me you'll change that.
You're right. When dealing with such a terrible disease, one must remain humble. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't try our best.
Sorry, Doctor. I don't want to sound bitter, but I'm just too tired to give a pep talk like Nurse Brannigan.
How long have you been a nurse?
Well, long enough to see that the epidemic is winning. And no matter how qualified you are, don't tell me you'll change that.
You're right. When dealing with such a terrible disease, one must remain humble. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't try our best.
Sorry, Doctor. I don't want to sound bitter, but I'm just too tired to give a pep talk like Nurse Brannigan.
How is the Pembroke staff coping with the epidemic?
Well, not well. Milton, the ambulance driver, is even more grumpy than usual, especially concerning doctors.
Why is Milton grumpy on a daily basis? Is it just an act?
Milton's not the kind of man who's bothered about a bad reputation, whether he deserved it or not.
Why does Milton dislike doctors?
I don't know. Just ask him. But be warned, Milton is not the chatty type.
Pepper, I know you're very close to Milton Hooks.
Yes, Milton Hooks is my man. If you want to report me for that, just feel free, Doctor.
I have no intention of reporting you, Nurse Hawkins. But are you aware of the risks?
The rules say I won't be allowed to work as a nurse anymore. But here at the Pembroke, we break rules all the time.
Is he worth the risk?
Hey, I'm no perfect woman, and Milton is not the finest bloke. But we do our best to get by. That's all any of us can hope for nowadays.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
I wonder why you gossips came in.
It's locked. be the same strain. This sickness moves faster than influenza. Balls of Mars, fortifiers. As popular as they are ineffective. But they do contain iron tartrate, and that might prove itself useful. This key will surely grant me access to the basement. I cannot enter.
Salut Dark, tu vas bien? Ça va? Et toi, comment tu vas, mon ami? Voilà, toutes les portes sont fermées, donc je pense que j'aurai personne. Voilà, tout est fermé. Je pense qu'il faut que je redescende. Putain, j'ai vu un truc qui m'a fait flipper là. C'est de garder mon sens du vampire parce que... Niveau 5, niveau 5, niveau 5, ils ont tous niveau 5. Il faut que je récupère un peu de sang en plus. Il faut que je commence. Il y en avait un deuxième quelque part. J'ai un squal niveau 6 ici. Un squal sauvage. Squal sauvage niveau 6. Je suis niveau 5. Je peux peut-être le surprendre celui-là. Nickel. J'ai eu un truc qui brillait là. Non? Donc je viens d'ici. Ok. Tout droit, c'est bugué. Je viens d'ici là-bas en face. Donc il faut que j'avance dans cette direction. J'entends les ennemis mais je les vois pas. Il y en a un derrière la porte là. Oh mon Dieu, mais c'est un vrai labyrinthe là-dedans. Bureau du médecin légiste de Pembroke Hospital. Rapport d'enquête. Défunt Samuel Connor. Race caucasienne. Sexe masculin. Âge 39 ans. Adresse inconnue. Profession pêcheur. Type de décès naturel. Ouais, enquête sur les citoyens, ça marche. C'est ici que vous pouvez consulter les enquêtes sur les citoyens triés par le quartier. Vous pouvez démarrer une nouvelle mission de citoyen. Voilà. Suivant avec carré, puis en consultant votre carte pour afficher la zone d'exploration à explorer. Ok. Gwyneth Brannigan. Alors, j'ai lu le rapport de anticipé concernant la mort de Samuel Connor. Je ne suis pas encore totalement convaincu. Peut-être devrais-je mener ma propre enquête pour déterminer la véritable cause de la mort du patient. Donc, docteur Conrad Tippett, Gwyneth Brannigan. Donc, je l'ai pas encore rencontrée, elle, non? Ouais. Milton Hooks, j'ai encore un truc à découvrir sur lui. Ok. Docteur docteur Conrad Tippett, nom et signature du médecin légiste, docteur Conrad Tippett, ouais. Cause probable du décès, pneumonie foudroyante, due à une consolidation pulmonaire causée par un virus. Grippe espagnole. Ouais, ok.
Mr. Connor's injuries don't match the report. I'd better look into this.
On va commencer par quoi? Alors, commissure des lèvres, on va regarder déjà.
Traces of a pinkish foam at the corner of the lips. Some sort of drug overdose, perhaps?
Overdose. Ok. Les lésions aux jambes et aux bras.
Multiple abrasions and scarring on the arms and legs. Old and distinctive injuries of a sailor or a fisherman.
Que ça marche. Et la poitrine ouverte.
The chest was originally opened to perform the operation. The sutures are clean, but the chest has been reopened.
De quoi?
The chest was originally opened.
Le thorax a d'abord été ouvert pour pratiquer l'opération. Les points de suture sont propres, mais le thorax a été rouvert. Ok. Fonction du poumon gauche. Qu'est-ce qu'il a dit? Fonction du poumon gauche, probablement un drainage thoracique. Ok. Pas le travail le plus soigné, mais ça a fonctionné. Ok. Signe d'hémorragie interne. En résumé, le docteur Tippett a mal dosé. Puis il a essayé de le réopérer. Tippett a commis une erreur gravissime. Il est temps que l'on discute, lui et moi.
Tippett has made an egregious error. It's time we talked.
Il faut que je parle au docteur Tippett.
It's locked. It's locked, all right. It's locked.
Absorption de sang. Vous avez obtenu une nouvelle arme main gauche. Qui fait là, machin. Appuyez sur triangle pour absorber directement le sang. Ouais. Arme main gauche, on va dire. Ça fait quoi? Vitesse d'attaque 10. Ça somme de 10. Assommer, ça c'est absorption. Ouais, c'est pas intéressant. Pas du tout. Je vais mettre le gun. Il est où le gun? Mais comment tu l'enlèves déjà? En main droite, tu peux pas avoir d'arme à feu. Il faut choisir. 45 de dégâts, cadence de tir 10. Oh, assommer 10. Lui il assomme pas, hein. Chargeur 6. Mais fait beaucoup de dégâts. J'ai fait penser à 480 avec 40% d'augmentation. Je verrai bien.
Skulls can be so ferocious. I'm not sure I can defeat them without becoming stronger. To drink blood is so tempting. Sodium hypochlorite. Dangerous to administer, but efficient in the proper dosage. It's locked. It's locked.
Bon, il est où ce docteur là? Je sais qui je cherche. Je crois que je lui ai déjà parlé, donc je devrais le trouver. Ah, c'est lui, Karl, fatigue. Ah, c'est lui, Tipette.
Good evening, Dr. Tippett.
Dr. Reed, any good news to share?
Donc c'est normal qu'il n'y a rien. Question personnelle alors?
For to tell me about Mr. Connor. How did he die? What happened?
He was my patient. He died because of my mistake. That's the blood.
Il est honnête.
Who was this patient?
I don't know. Some sick man from the docks. Maybe a fisherman. I had no time to talk with him. No one claimed a body.
What was the nature of the mistake?
It was a twofold error. My diagnosis was wrong, and the administered dosage was too strong.
Why not stop practicing?
Are you mad? I killed that man, I admit it, and it won't happen again. I have saved so many lives since then.
Do you need any medical assistance yourself, Doctor?
Come on, don't be ridiculous, dear colleague.
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett.
Alors lui, il a besoin de fatigue. Lui, je ne sais pas encore. Et lui, c'est quoi? Fatigue aussi. Dyson a besoin de fatigue. Il est fatigué, oui. Dyson fatigué. Clay Cox fatigué. Non, faut que je trouve Clay Cox et l'autre. Si j'arrive à faire 2 potions de fatigue. C'était quoi le deuxième qui était avec lui là? Je crois que c'était elle, non? Gwyneth Brannigan là, non? Ouais, c'est Gwyneth. Faut que je trouve Gwyneth là. Je lui parle aussi, hein. La petite Gwyneth. Où vous cachez-vous, Gwyneth? Inconnu, docteur Crane, Harvey Fendick, non pas tout de suite, je sais pas. Inconnu. Je cherche Gwyneth, moi. Où es-tu, Gwyneth Paltrow? Je pense qu'elle est en bas, mais... Tout à l'heure, elle était en bas, la Gwyneth, alors... Pipa, pipa, pipa... Pipa... Ah, je l'ai vu. Non, je l'ai pas vu. Où est-ce qu'elle est, Pipa Hopkins? Si, je croyais que je l'avais vu. Peut-être dehors, là. Inconnu. Milton. Tippett. Clay. Je suis remonté en haut, là. Je la trouve pas, la Gwyneth Paltrow, là. Elle est là.
Good evening, nurse. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed, the new surgeon here at Pembroke.
Dr. Swansea has already told us about you, sir. I'm Nurse Gwyneth Brannigan. Welcome to the Pembroke Hospital.
Did he really? It's a good thing I wasn't hoping to keep a low profile.
All members of staff have already read about your new blood transfusion technique. Dr. Swansea made sure of that.
I see. Well, I'm a little surprised, but I suppose I'll just have to deal with this unexpected notoriety.
You must know, blood transfusions are Dr. Swansea's primary subject of research. He is convinced it is the future.
How are things here?
Not good, to say the least. We're struggling against an invisible enemy, more lethal than any bullet from a gun. It's hard, Doctor.
How are things here?
Not good, to say the least. We're struggling against an invisible enemy, more lethal than any bullet from a gun. It's hard, Doctor.
An invisible enemy? Quite a poetic term for a disease, especially from a nurse.
Sorry, Doctor. These last few weeks have been exhausting. We could all do with a good night's sleep.
Do you think this hospital can survive the epidemic?
We are all volunteers here, and we're trying to hold fast, but how do we beat an invisible killer? Some nurses have already resigned.
I'm not familiar with all the staff yet. Perhaps you could help me.
Brilliant professionals, most of them. Dr. Swansea has a gift for recruiting talent.
Most of them. Is there a problem I should know about, nurse?
It would be inappropriate for me to speak ill of a colleague.
Is there anyone that stands out?
Well, I have never met someone as dedicated as Dr. Tippett. He should be a standard for us all here. If only he were younger.
Why should his age be a problem?
I guess it's fair to say he's always pushing himself to the limits. He just doesn't know when to stop and get some rest.
Nurse Brannigan, if you do know something, please tell me. Anything you say will be held in confidence.
No. I may disagree with some conduct, but in the end, everybody is doing their best.
Why does Dr. Tippett claim you're the main reason he keeps working, despite his fatigue?
If it wasn't for him, I probably would have left the Pembroke years ago.
Dr. Tippett does not think of you as just a nurse anymore, does he?
If you're suggesting he's not taking my gender into consideration when it comes to medical practice and knowledge, I really hope he doesn't.
Tell me what Dr. Tippett did. I know his mistake caused a patient's death.
If I had not covered up his error, Dr. Tippett would have been fired from this hospital. I could not let that happen.
You can't allow your emotions to dictate your conduct concerning patients, Nurse Brannigan.
Look around you, Dr. Reed. Do you really think we can afford to lose a brilliant practitioner like Dr. Tippett in our situation?
I can't say I approve of what you did. But as a field surgeon, I know that some situations require you to bend the rules.
I'm not proud of what I've done, but to contain the epidemic must be our priority, so we can't afford to lose Dr. Tippett.
Bon, elle a l'air d'être pas mal là. faire? Concernant le docteur Tippett, je veux dire, que faire? Ouais, je suis pas encore dans... Pour l'instant, je suis pas encore... Eh ben, je révèle pas l'erreur, allez.
I've decided that I won't reveal Dr. Tippett's, shall we say, misdemeanor.
I'm so glad you share my point of view. Dr. Tippets is a brilliant practitioner. We most definitely need his know-how.
I hope you're right. This is a huge risk we're taking.
Dr. Tippets must regain his confidence. Please, keep this decision between you and me. He doesn't need to know you found out.
Bon, c'est bon, ça se complique, ça va de mieux en mieux.
Good business. Call me if you need assistance.
Je veux juste voir où j'en suis dans l'enquête, là. Ah bah voilà. Donc j'ai terminé la quête. Et j'étais un gentil garçon. Il y a un endroit où il y a une croix, là. Pas bon, ça. Ah, Freud, traitement pour la fatigue, donc je retourne chez moi. Enfin, chez moi.
Good evening, Dr. Tippett.
Dr. Reed, any good news to share?
You're exhausting yourself, Corcoran. Maybe you should think about preserving your strength.
No. We must keep on healing all those poor souls. We are the last rampart before chaos. Once more, unto the breach.
Nurse Brannigan is worried about you, Doctor.
She should not have told you that. I will have a word with her.
You don't have to blame her for her honesty.
I'm not that kind of man, my dear Jonathan. Actually, Nurse Brannigan's opinion is the only one I may listen to.
You're exhausting yourself, Corcoran. Maybe you should think about preserving your strength.
No. We must keep on healing all those poor souls. We are the last rampart before chaos. Once more, unto the breach.
Nurse Brannigan is worried about you, Doctor.
She should not have told you that. I will have a word with her.
You don't have to blame her for her honesty.
GG Dark 41.
I'm not that kind of man, my dear Jonathan. Actually, Nurse Brannigan's opinion is the only one I may listen to.
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett. Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening, Doctor.
Goodbye, Nurse. Call me if you need assistance. The flower's dying. It needs water. Good evening, Mr. Cox.
Dr. Reed. Still working at night, I see. I like that.
And why is that?
People who don't sleep at night always seem more alive to me. More interesting, one way or another.
You're lucky to be alive, Mr. Cox. I hope you're starting to take better care of yourself.
This place is full of sickness and decay. How could I get better in such a dump?
Consider yourself lucky that I'm treating all of my patients equally. But don't push your luck.
Don't play the innocent with me. I'm sure you have good reasons to act this way. And also weaknesses that can be exploited.
Do you ever think about that poor fellow I saw you push in the water?
The wound he gave me will make sure I don't forget him. Still fucking hurts. Boss had cut me good.
That man was determined to murder you. You almost died.
What a surprise. The first time I met him, he nearly shit himself. Fucking coward. I guess revenge gives you balls.
What did he want? Revenge?
I recently had to kill his brother. poor arsehole thought it would be easy to return the favour.
Only the strongest survive, then? Survival at all costs. Is that all you think about?
I'm the toughest bastard you'll ever meet, Dr. Reed. And I don't give a fuck what you think of me.
How is your hospitalization going, Mr. Cox?
This is a shitty place with shitty staff. But as long as I'm treated all right, I'll be fine.
What's wrong with the Pembroke staff?
That bastard you sent to bring me here, Milton. I thought he was going to break all my bones before I reached my bed.
I see. Any other smart comments?
The nurses aren't too ugly. Especially that foxy one, Nurse Crane. Pretty brunette, tough attitude, all like that.
What's wrong with the hospital?
Come on, Dr. Reed. The place is a dump. Smelly, sad, and dirty.
But you're alive thanks to the efforts and dedication of the staff here, aren't you?
What are you expecting, a medal? I thought that saving lives was just part of the job. Must be an unsatisfactory profession at this time, I'm sure.
How long do you think you can escape the law, Clay?
I know this city like the back of my hand, Doc. I know its streets, who to pay, who to avoid, and who to bully. I won't get caught.
We can't escape the consequences of our actions. The past catches up with us in the end.
I ain't afraid of death. I don't hide who I am. I live my life honestly, which is more than I could say for most folks.
And who are you, then?
I'm the leader of the Wet Boot Boys. One day, I'll leave this shitty place and punch in the face all who thought I would not come back.
Mais il est pas gentil, lui, hein? Je trouve des indices pour les autres questions.
I'll leave you for now, Mr. Cox.
Je crois que j'avais un autre mec qui était fatigué là. Clay Cox, ça y est, là en soins, en récupération. J'avais lu, mais c'était où, 10 zones de l'année là. Où est-ce qu'il était lui? Ah oui, il faut que j'aille au doc. Donc les docs, je sais pas si je peux retourner au doc. Ah si, je pense que je peux peut-être retourner au doc en passant par là. Je vais voir si je peux. Et là c'est l'hôpital. Je me mets en direction comme ça. Ouais, je pense que je suis dans la bonne direction là. Pour ça, je peux pas passer. Peut-être que je peux passer autre part, par au-dessus. plus ou moins sur la bonne route. Faut que je fasse gauche-droite alors. T'es niveau 10, ça va être chaud. Niveau 12, résistance. Ils sont en 2 là. Hein. Oui, c'était pas loin du refuge. Donc j'essaye d'aller au refuge.
Good evening, sir. Whatever. Don't you recognize me? We met a few nights ago.
Don't take it personally. I spent a lot of energy forgetting what I did the night before.
Yes, you had definitely drunk too much then as well. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed.
I'm Jason Delaney. I'll try to remember you. This time.
What do you do for a living, Mr. Delaney?
I drink. I drink in the morning and at noon. I drink at night. And then I drink some more.
Why do you drink so much?
Maybe it's because I prefer dying slowly. Death can be so abrupt. Personally, I like to see mine coming at my own pace.
You sound very sad, sir.
That's because I am Doc.
Don't you work at all?
I'd love to, but I don't have the time. Didn't I tell you? Drink in the morning and at noon. I drink at night.
Is there anything in particular that you like about this part of town? Except for the cheap drinks, I mean.
How dare you say such a thing? I love this neighborhood. So friendly, so joyful.
Why are you so cynical?
Cynicism is the polite way to express despair, Doctor.
No reason at all to rejoice, then. Life is hopeless and then we die, is that it?
Let me tell you a story.
All right. Go on.
A few years ago, when I believed a resolute man could change things around here for good, a tragedy occurred nearby.
What kind of tragedy?
It was a bomb. Bomb that exploded and killed many people. Metal and blood everywhere. Shouts, fire, broken window of the shoe shop, the torn street light.
You lost people you loved that day, didn't you?
I've lost everything. But you know what the worst part is? I don't even remember where it happened. I've drunk so much to forget it, and now I can't remember where it was. I can't pay my homage to the dead.
I'm sorry, Mr. Delaney.
It's okay. If you ever find the place, just leave a flower for me there. Even if you tell me where it is. I'm not sure I'd memorize it.
Is there anything in particular that you like about this part of town? Except for the cheap drinks, I mean.
How dare you say such a thing? I love this neighborhood. So friendly, so joyful.
No reason at all to rejoice, then. Life is hopeless and then we die, is that it?
Let me tell you a story.
Another time, perhaps. I'm not sure I want to hear another sad story. Surely you must have had dreams and expectations when you were young, like everybody else.
Sure, I wanted things to change. To really change, and to change for good. The bigger the dream, the harder the fall.
Sounds like you were an idealist, which is honorable.
No, sir. I was an anarchist, and I believed that exclusive property is a robbery in nature. I wanted a new world to rise from the ashes, Dr. Reed.
Do you really think the world is that bad?
No, I believe we all can choose to make it better. But most of us are too weak, too corrupt and too guilty. I failed for sure, but others will come.
I want to know more about your past as an anarchist, Dyson.
I'm still an anarchist, Doctor, make no mistake. I just reject violence as a tool to change the world, unlike my comrades.
Do you still see your comrades, then? Even if you don't agree with their methods anymore, I mean.
No. I hope they'll come to share my point of view one day. I'll raise my glass to that splendid idea.
Do you believe in a bloodless revolution, then?
I do not believe in much anymore, Doctor. But I'll admit I like your idea of peaceful change. I like it a lot.
Goodbye, Mr. Delaney.
Perhaps I should shut the turquoise for a time.
Good evening, Mr. Delaney.
What? Ah, you're that doctor.
Inebriation aside, Do you need medical help?
Yes. I feel sicker than usual these days.
Take this, then. And perhaps you could try to slow down the alcohol intake, too.
Hey, Doc, you don't really want me to stop the only remedy I can afford.
Is there anything in particular that you like about this part of town? Except for the cheap drinks, I mean.
How dare you say such a thing? I love this neighborhood. So friendly, so joyful.
Inebriation aside, do you need medical help?
I already drink the only medicine that suits me, Doctor.
Goodbye, Mr. Delaney.
So few clients. With the epidemic, no one leaves.
Bonsoir, le plus grand ninja. Il va très bien, il va très bien.